Hey, what's going on everybody? Big Rove here and welcome to this quick guide for 1.5t Teaks. This is not meant to be an all-inclusive guide, but strictly a complementary guide to Verf's video. This focuses a little bit more on the 1.5t action. So I just want to go through a few sweaty things to consider to save a tick here and there on your trips. So let's begin. First of all, as you're running, I switch this so that you can have your crafting cape in the inventory for the teleport later. After traveling here, look at this crate, put your finger right above it, and you'll put your finger right on, or your pointer right on the climb through hole. Now the reason that you do this is if you just click in this area, you are likely to get there in the same amount of ticks, but running one extra tick instead of walking the last tick, as you will if you click directly on it. Or you may lose a tick altogether, depending on exactly where you click. But if you click straight here, you'll notice I walk the last one tick, and so I get there in the fastest amount of ticks while walking some. Now I have 3 teak trees planted. One option is to have a mahogany tree here if you are worried that you're going to mess up. I began with a mahogany tree and now I use all 3 teak trees because I don't mess up. If you do mess up, you can get a mahogany log very quickly north of the farm guild, which you can get there from a fairy ring if you have the Lumberj Elite diary. You can get there through a farm cape in your house if you have 99 farming or a jewelry box. And if those aren't options for you, then you'll want to consider maybe what's second best for you for getting mahogany log. If those aren't options, I would probably put a mahogany tree here. You really don't use this third tree very much. Okay, so now basic starting of the 3 tick action. If you want to see more of this, I have a lower quality video, and Sond does too. I moved to this tree and immediately moved to this tree because you can move between these trees and it saves 1 click per and allows you to make sure you are clicking a tree as often as possible. So you'll notice I click this tree, and right as I turn that corner, I start the 3 tick action. And so I begin moving in this direction. I go south of the tree because I find that easier, and then I continue to click between trees. Now I'm hoping to show you one thing if a tree disappears. Alright, see, if that tree disappears, all I have to do is do 4 movements, and by the time I get back, it'll be up. Now my inventory is full, but had I clicked here, even though I clicked clear the tree stump, boom, the tree is already back up in time, and that is a benefit. Okay, now if you want to get sweaty, and especially if you don't have a tree here, you can say this tree disappears, you can click back up to this tree, and instead of just clicking right and then clicking the tree, you can click to walk, and that saves some energy. So it requires more clicking, but you can do that. And same thing over here, you can do it sideways. Now when I do have this tree here, I choose to go this way because if this tree goes down on the first, second, or third swing, I will go to this tree. If this tree goes down on the first or second swing, I will go to this tree. But if it remains till the third swing, and if this remains to the fourth swing, then I will stay in this area because it's then not worth it to run here. So I have my shift click settings so that I can shift click teleport here, and I suggest turning all of these to use so that you don't accidentally drop them. But I have this set so I can shift click that. I click over to and up to so that I can click immediately on the door, doing it in 1 tick rather than in 2. And I go straight to here. I have screen markers set for this, and in just a second you'll see the buy all screen marker. Now as I walk, if I want to check how many logs I have left, I can, well, if I did it faster, I can do it without losing any ticks except the 1 tick to stop. And click at the bottom to buy all, teleport to your house. Make sure it's set to outside of your house so you can click in to get in. Now, as I make these, let me talk about willow logs. If you want to get your willow logs back, the 3 ways to do it. The fastest way would be to go right outside the crafting guild, right next to the balloon, and 3 tick those willow trees. The second fastest way to do it would be to have a willow tree planted in Taverley and a 1.5 ticket. Now it's not faster than 3 ticking at the crafting guild, but it's the second fastest. And the third fastest, and probably the most preferable to all of you, would be to AFK willow logs in or at the crafting guild. That's probably the next best way. I will note that going to the crafting guild, even including the time it takes to get willow logs, you save about 12 ticks per run because of how much faster it is. That's assuming you 3 tick the willow logs. If you don't 3 tick the willow logs and you do your basic actions, then you're still saving about 9 to 10 ticks per run faster than going to the woodcutting guild with a jewelry box in your house. Though if you do use the jewelry box in your house, you can still expect rates of 80 to 85K XP per hour, and it certainly has a less high requirement as the crafting cape. Sorry for being lazy and AFKing here. I want to make sure I get everything said and I get to think. I believe that's all I have to say. I don't see anything else in my notes, so if you do have any questions, please let me know in the comments. The GP per XP, including the runes for this method, is about 4.14 GP per XP. I hope you make sure to do wrist stretches so you don't get RSI during this method, and most importantly, I hope you enjoy playing RuneScape.